What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, saints and ain'ts? Welcome to Lactic Acid. I am your host, Dominique Smith. Today, I have a baller, shot caller, the pride of Nebraska. She is more famous than the brother man Scott Frost, who is doing big things at Nebraska, formerly at UCF, my alma mater, but I can't say nothing because we doing it big down here. But she is, I was just thinking, we were talking before the show, I have had like some of the best javelin throwers on this show. And you go ahead and listen to them. But now I can say I have the best, the American record holder, Maggie Malone. But let me put some respect on your name because you were recently married. So, first and foremost, congratulations.
Oh my God, thank you. Oh,
Congratulations.
yes. You're the
Anybody
first person that has like recognized that. And that just made my day.
Yeah, so congratulations wherever you are in the United States or wherever you're listening to. Give her a standing ovation, like the Dell saying it's an old school song. It says, "Give your baby a standing ovation," but in this case, you're gonna give her a standing ovation and
Sure.
her husband. So
Mm.
Maggie Malone-Hardin. So let's put some
Yes.
respect on it.
Amen.
Without further ado, thank you for coming on the show. How are you doing on this hot day in the summer in August?
I am doing real well. And I just want to say, I wish that I could take you and your amazing energy with me everywhere I go because it is so infectious. And you just made me feel way cooler than I am. And I also feel like yeah, I'm like, I definitely am not the best javelin thrower in the US. Like, Kara still bow down, Kara Winger. No way. I just feel like I could never be at the same level as her. So I just have to throw that out there.
It's cool. You can throw that out there, but
Yeah.
I got receipts that prove otherwise. That you are the best. Listen, Kara, there is no one. The legacy that she has left in this sport is
Yeah.
unparalleled and one of
Yep.
the best people you'll meet.
Yes.
But I think that she would agree that right now, based on the numbers, the kids and the Gen Z, whatever them kids name, they say receipts. So if we were to pull out
Receipts.
the records and the receipts, the
Hmm.
transaction would show
Well,
that right now everybody is trying to catch you for that
uh,
number one spot.
uh.
So yes, that's facts.
Well, you're just gassing me up, making me feel good. So I'm about to go like I feel like I could like run a marathon after that.
Oh, well, listen, if you do that, may the grace of our Lord and Savior be with you, because that ain't nothing that I listen. I don't, they say keep that same energy, but I don't think I can give you that energy to run that. But listen, I'm just trying to say, you never
Thank
know.
you.
You never
Oh,
know.
well.
Javelin throwers taking over the world. I love it. I love it.
Let's go. Give
Okay.
us some respect, Javelin.
Yes, put some respect on their names, all thriller, no filler, all
Yes.
authentic on this show. So
Amen.
I've been asking this question. It's a summertime question phrase as we are almost to fall. So let's just say Ben and Jerry, both of them just said, you know what, Maggie, you as the kids would say, you're about it. You are just the example that people need to follow of hard work paying off. Uh, Country girl doing it big on the world stage, your performances and the stock. We want to buy stock in Maggie Malone-Hardin because
Mm.
your stock right now is hotter than fish grease at a family reunion. So what we're going to do is we're going to create an ice cream promotion not surrounded, but centering your greatness. What
Mm.
we need from you are the two flavors of ice cream that you would like for us to use, as well as a title of the title of the promotion. So, what are the two flavors? What do you want the
Okay.
promotion to be called?
Oh, this is so hard. Okay, the two flavors that I would want are, hmm, I would say cookie dough
Okay. Okay.
and peanut butter.
Okay.
Yep. And we are gonna call it, let's see. Um, This is so hard. I'm not good at these kinds of things. It takes time. Um,
I'll call it the All American.
the All-American. I like that. All right.
I would
The
call it.
All-American.
You see,
The
I
Power
was
American.
the power, the power
American
American,
Power. We call it American
American
Power.
power. Okay,
American Power. We're gonna call it that. Yeah.
I can
You get a
dig
little
that.
power from that protein in the peanut butter.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
and you know who's gonna want in on some of this action? Reese's, because that's what they're probably listening to this and like, you know what?
Yeah. Excuse me.
Why
Reese's. Reese's. Are we gonna have this
Reese's
debate? No, 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 no. Mm-mm.
is so you probably say
My husband and
tomato
I have
instead of
this debate
tomato.
all the time. He
Yeah,
and I have this debate all the time. And talk about receipts. I have pulled up commercial after commercial that says Reese's.
it's Reese's.
Oh my
I
goodness.
it's Reese's. Listen, I will go to the Reese's capital and tell them. Let me tell you something.
I can't.
That's like saying going to McDonald's and saying, "Can I get a Fanta compared to a Fantana?" We all know it's called Fanta,
Fantana.
but it's like, "Let me get a Fantana." And they would look at you, "What? No, may I have a Fanta?" And they're like,
Oh
"Oh,
my
sure. What flavor you want?" Reese's is
no.
Fantana.
Oh my gosh. No.
Reese's is Fanta. Come on now.
No. Oh my gosh. We're gonna have to agree to disagree. But with all that said, Reese's can jump on in and hashtag sponsor, hashtag ad.
Listen, free ad.
No,
This is free
I
advertising. Yes.
free advertising for Reese's. We're gonna do a Ben and Jerry's Reese's collaboration called American Power, and we're gonna have a nice javelin thrower named Maggie Malone-Hardin right on that cover.
You know what? I'm honestly, I need to start tagging them both when I post this
You should.
because I know Reese's sponsors Katie Ledecky.
Do
And
the does what?
yeah,
Oh my, I didn't know this. Okay.
yeah. So we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna make
That's
that
my
happen.
all-time favorite candy, all time ever. Chocolate peanut butter combo, Reese's. Both my parents are teachers and coaches. I lived at the concession stand. That is my
Hmm.
go-to. Yep.
Listen, let me tell you something. Reese's, that was my child. I know we may have a disagreement on how it's properly pronounced,
We do.
but that is the best. That was childhood. I'm 28, and let me tell you something. In those 28 years, in these 28 years, I don't know how many thousands of Reese's I have. I hope my cardiologist is not listening to this, but I'm just trying to tell you. And let me just, before we jump in, let me just say something about concession stands.
All right.
You have never had a hamburger, a cheeseburger until you've had one from a concession stand.
Oh, amen. Okay, what are you putting on your cheeseburger or your hamburger?
I just put ketchup, a little ketchup,
You just do a little
and
ketchup? Okay.
maybe some onions.
Yep.
And if they have pickles, then go. They go to.
Yep.
We have a in Orlando. We have Publix, so they'll go
Oh yeah.
or Costco or whatever and get those big jar of
Yep.
pickles or whatever.
Yep.
And so, I mean, if I can customize it, then yeah, I can. But if not, listen, I'm basic like that. There's
Yep.
there's there's nothing else. How about you?
We tried a lot of different combinations. I used to work the concession stands because my mom would run them at football games or whatever. So that was my life. And for me, you experiment, right? Like that was my
Hmm.
treat at the end of helping her. So put a little nacho cheese on it, you
Oh,
know? Sometimes I would do, yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. Sometimes I did a mayo combination, a mayo lettuce onion combination once, was pretty good.
okay.
But one time I made the ultimate burger and it was chili also. So we had chili and we had the nacho cheese and the burgers. And I just did like an all in one burger, nacho cheese with the chili on top.
Oof,
Chef's kiss, perfection, truly.
oof.
Had a little Fritos on the side. Mmm.
So you made a
That
bootleg Frito pie.
Basically bootleg Frito pie with more protein from that burger.
Let me tell y'all something. This is why you see, this is why I have to have champions on here because that's a championship mentality. That
Going
is a
all in.
championship. Listen, a good burger. Now let me ask you something. Was your school a Powerade or a Gatorade school?
We started as a Gatorade and then we went to Powerade, unfortunately, because more on that Gatorade side. So what is it? We started with like Dr. Pepper and then we went to like Mr. Pibb. And you're like,
Oh,
golly, why? Or we had like Mountain Dew and then we became Mellow Yellow and you're like, not the same, not the same.
Sprite, Sierra Miss,
Yeah, to Sierra Mist, you're like, this is no,
and
not comparable.
that's an absolute miss right there.
Yeah, but I'll
Uh,
say now I don't even drink pop. Well, I say pop, soda if you're in the South, whatever you want to call it. I do not drink pop.
Same here. I stopped drinking in this. Let me say, I stopped drinking soda in
Yeah,
the seventh grade because I said I stopped drinking. Some people may think I have a problem. I don't.
that's true.
But
But
yeah,
Zevias have been my go-to. I don't know if you've had a Zevia before,
I've
but
never heard of that.
I'm pretty sure they have them at Publix. If you should check them out, if not,
What
I Zevia.
Zebia?
Zevia,
Z
Zevia. Again, Zevia. I've tagged them a couple times on my Instagram. If they want to sponsor me, that'd be great. Cream soda Zevia.
Ooh,
Dude,
ooh.
so good.
Oh, I've seen these.
Yes, yes. They're like the clean version of pop of soda because they're made with stevia instead of all the sugar. And let me tell you, Dominique, I it's become a habit, it's become an addiction. I have to limit myself, but when I tasted the cream soda, it brought me back to Maggie circa 2001 at the pool during the summertime, getting a cream soda out of that vending
Preach
machine.
on it.
Oh my gosh. And now I can't go back. It's so bad. It's so bad. Had one last night. Literally went to Sprouts at like 9 p.m. because I was like, I need a cream soda Zevia.
Oh my gosh. Well, first of
Oh,
all, Maggie almost caught
confessions.
no, Maggie almost caught the Holy Ghost talking about that Zebia.
I
Um like I'm not even kidding. It
did.
is my life mission to help you get a sponsor. I'm not even gonna because
I don't know if
we're
I've talked so passionately about a brand before, to be honest.
honest to God's truth. We're gonna make it happen. And we're gonna
Yeah.
talk about food, beverages, and all that stuff in a little bit. But it is my I'm
Yep.
as soon as it's over, I'm going to put this on. Let me write that on my phone. Well, I got the recording on this. We will help you get a sponsorship.
Let's
Listen,
go. Come
that
on.
is oh man,
Yep.
that
Yep.
cold Gatorade. The
Mm.
thing about Gatorade is when it is from a concession stand and you're working a football game. I used
Yep.
to cover football games
Yep.
up until last year. Halftime, I need
Hmm.
an orange Gatorade and a cheeseburger.
Okay. Okay.
But now the concession stands have just been filled with Chick-fil-A. And part of me
I love
does not
Chick-fil-A, so don't hate on it. Don't do it. Don't sub it.
no, but at a foot listen, now there are times where see problem my problem with Chick-fil-A is that when you really want it, I don't know what church they go to,
Yeah.
but I'm like somebody who let one of the ushers or something go cook me some chicken or something. Also, on Sundays, one of my close friends works in Nashville.
Hmm.
Shout out to Culture and Company. Shout out to my friend Ashton Home Slice and her mom. They got an awesome business there. She I asked her for confirmation on this. There's a Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A's in Nashville are selling lemon pepper wings.
Lemon pepper wings? I haven't heard
Yes.
this. And I work for Chick-fil-A a little bit, so that's why I say don't say it.
Oh, yeah, listen, I'm not going to disrespect the bird because I just had
Yeah.
it I had it Wednesday, but
Hmm.
I don't know. Like the thing that pisses me off about Chick-fil-A football games is I get my sandwich with no pickles, and they put them pickles on there, and that pickle juice saturates the bread all
They
over the
do, yeah, 'cause it's
chicken.
been sitting there. It's not the same as getting it from a Chick-fil-A. Yeah, you're at the mercy of some like 15-year-old kid that's just packing them in the back. Yeah.
And you don't get a how may I serve you. You just get a what you want.
You don't get the My pleasure.
My pleasure. Like y'all,
No
do
kids
you
saying my
guys?
pleasure.
No, 15.99. Do you have sauce? We got ketchup around the corner. Like who put ketchup on a chicken sandwich? But that's
Yeah,
why. That's.
Where's that Chick-fil-A sauce?
I hate Chick-fil-A sauce. I'm sorry.
That is, I
I
will end
I am
this
not.
at this moment. You hate the Chick-fil-A sauce.
I hate Chick-fil-A sauce and mayonnaise-based sauces. I hate them.
Oh my gosh.
They
Oh my
listen.
gosh.
I right
Um,
here. No, I don't know if you can see this, but this is my go-to. This is the honey mustard,
oh, the honey and the
and
Polynesian. Have you tried that
no,
one?
I've had the Polynesian, but it's so sugary. It's
Yeah,
still too sweet.
it's
But
sweet.
this sweet sriracha,
Yeah, that's good. That's
those
my second.
I think Chick-fil-A sauce is the most overrated thing. I'm sorry.
No.
It's listen, I'm sorry. I'm having an
There's an
argument.
army that would beg to differ. There's an army of Chick-fil-A customers that I think would be on the other side of that.
Okay, well, y'all wrong then. I mean, it's just like I said, I'm not scared. I don't care. I the mayonnaise-based sauces, they just ugh.
So good. They're so
Okay.
good.
Before we
Now
before
that we
we
now that we've just spent 20 minutes talking about food and
But here's the
nonsense.
thing. That's the part about this show. It's not, it's I look at it as chaotic excellence
Hmm.
because I like to go where the show goes. And now I do have a show called a part of the Lactic Acid Network. It's a YouTube exclusive show called A Bucket of Track Talking Fried Chicken. So
I like
uh
that name.
yeah,
Well
one
done.
day I want you to come on there so we can have a debate. We can eat
Okay.
Chick-fil-A and we can debate it from there.
We for sure will. Yes.
Yes.
Hmm. Here's also why I need to give a shout out to Chick-fil-A. All right. So here's
Okay.
why I also love Chick-fil-A. One, I work for a leadership development company and we do a lot of their leadership training. So, one, Chick-fil-A is all about their people, all about developing their people, great culture. Second, I had a group of operators. Now, operators, it's their own store, it's franchised. A group of operators when they found out that I made the Olympic team, and they'd been following my journey and everything this last year. They got together, one operator, and she had contacted my CEO and was like, "Hey, we want to support Maggie financially. How can we do that?" And he was like, "Well, I know she's selling these T-shirts," and they're like, "We don't want to give T-shirts. We want to do something big." And there was a group of operators, about 5 or 6 of them, who donated to me to my fund of all of my medical stuff last year, of my
Wow.
travel. I mean, that this is why I love Chick-fil-A, is because they go above and beyond and see a need. Like I didn't know that they would do anything like that for me, but they are in the business of serving people, and whether that's chicken or whether that's, showing up at different places, or like charity events or whatever it is. It's like they serve people, and that is why I love Chick-fil-A. Yes, their chicken is good, but my like incredible people. Come on.
Well, listen, it's you always love to hear examples of love in action, and
Yes. Yes.
especially in today's world where it's very self-centric and
Yeah.
um, to each his own. But
Yeah.
I'm really glad to hear that. That
Yeah.
is
I
that's
had to share that story. I don't think I've shared that yet on any other podcast. So I had to share that.
well, Chick-fil-A, if I don't want to say, well, if you do want to sponsor this show, but more so, just want to give y'all a shout out because that's awesome.
Yeah.
And we need to hear more of that. Like,
I know. I know.
like that is, I don't know, with as much bad news as we hear about the sport and the doom and gloom, which
Yeah.
is doom and
There's a
gloom.
lot. Hmm.
It's always nice to know that there's somebody.
Yeah.
We used to sing this old song in church called "God Specializes," so
Hmm.
it's cool to see that in action.
Yeah,
That's. I've
it
been
is.
doing some singing on these last couple episodes, but I don't know if I would. I need an organ,
Oh my gosh, I
and
would love it. All right.
uh, but that's actually a good transition. So your story is incredible. Um, no, literally, because you have this incredible journey, and this is the thing I love about track and field. I hate it and I love it. And it's not so much track and field as much as society, because you have provided hope in your story
Mm,
for so many people from a young age. But then there's a societal thing that says maybe they haven't accomplished what we think they should,
yeah.
but you don't want gold medal since you was knee high to a grasshopper. Just, and forgive the southern sayings, but
No, I
uh,
love them. You sound like my dad. My dad's whole family's from East Texas, and like that is exactly how they speak, and I love it.
oh, okay. Well, then
You're talking to me like family.
okay. Well, listen, this is when you're on my show, it's family.
Yeah.
But I mean, when they your growth plate, was stunt.
Yep.
They tried to mess up your other leg,
Yep.
and then like look at God.
Yep.
All of
Look
a
at God.
sudden, you are an
Intervenes.
American record holder
Yep.
continuing to do big things on the track and off the track. Have you ever like sat and reflected on, and the thing is, I don't care about what happened at Worlds this year or whatever the
Yeah.
case might be, because you're a champion so much beyond that. Have you ever got a chance to just reflect on the journey
Mhm.
that's gotten you to where you are, and has it kind of shaped where you want to go?
Yeah, that's such a good question. And I think for a lot of us athletes, we have a hard time sitting and processing our stories because we live in a world that tells us you need to be this or you need to accomplish this or whatever it is. And for a lot of us who are so hungry and who are so um, driven to succeed, it's hard to look back and say, wow, look at where I started and where I'm at now, when I'm always focused on like, well, I need to be here. I want to do this or I want to accomplish this. So it is hard for me to sit in my story honestly and think about what has happened, but I there's this kind of, I heard this once before, and I do this to myself sometimes, and they said, if you were to tell your 12-year-old self, hey, and I'm going to use me for an example. Hey, Maggie, one day you are going to throw the javelin and you are going to be in the Olympics, not once, but twice. Do you think that 12-year-old Maggie would have been like, oh, how far did I throw? No, Maggie would never, 12-year-old Maggie would have been like, I'm going to be in the Olympics? Like, are you kidding me? And I think when you put it into that perspective, it's like, wow, I have accomplished something that I never thought that I never dreamed of accomplishing, and I'm so thankful to be in the position that I am now. And I think that's a space that I am constantly fighting to stay in. I'm constantly trying to stay in the present and being, you know, thankful for what has happened, but also looking to the future, because I do know that I truly believe that there's more that God's going to use me for. I really truly believe that. And it's hard though to stay present, and also the comparison culture that's around us. It's hard to stay present when there's this comparison always. I've always felt like my career, a lot of people, at least in the past, have maybe compared my career to like Kara's or somebody's, and it's like, no, 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 like Kara is Kara and Ari is Ari and Maggie is Maggie. And so I really think that if we can stay in our own lanes and look at our own stories, it's like, who knows what we're going to accomplish in the future, but I know what my goal is, and Kara and Ari maybe had other goals than I did, and we all should be really grateful for our stories that have brought us to where we are now. Even if it's not exactly where we want to be, there's a lot of gratitude that I have that's where I'm at now.
People need to stop doing that nonsense. I
Right?
mean, like, if the Lord wanted you to be somebody else, then He would have made you that
Yes,
person.
I
Like,
know. Yep.
and it that's why I was just, saying, you've people, and that's the one thing, and this is a good segue about the javelin that I've learned, because like I said, the javelin was new to me because in Florida we just didn't have it for a while, and now I'm looking at these kids, and when I was talking with Ari, I said, I competed against this kid when I was throwing the discus, and I looked at him. I was like, I'm gonna cream this kid. Like I'm this big lineman. I'm on the weightlifting team. I'm like, man, they got this little two-pick out here throwing the discus and all this stuff.
Hmm.
That dude won regionals. He threw like 160 feet. I'm
Yeah.
like, dang.
Yeah.
And that was like, okay, well, that was an eye-opening experience
Hmm.
because like you just said, we compare what we think somebody should be, or
Yep.
you look at them and compare what they are to what you think, even to yourself. Like
Yeah.
it's just like, okay, well, what am I doing wrong? It's like, no, we ain't
Yeah.
doing nothing wrong.
Yeah.
It's just a
It's
part of
just
the
your journey.
process.
Yeah, it's your journey, it's your process. And all of us have different backgrounds that led us to javelin, specifically javelin, I'm saying. So
Yeah.
Ari and I, neither of us threw until we were adults, Like I didn't know what a javelin was until I was 19. She started throwing later. She was a pole vaulter in college. So
Hmm.
neither of us had a quote unquote conventional. Is there even a conventional way to get into javelin? I have no idea. But neither of us had a background that would indicate that we would be good at javelin.
Hmm. I was thinking about that question, and the answer is no. Like I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
know.
I don't think there is a conventional way because in some respects the javelin is rare.
Yeah. It's primal and it's one of the earliest events ever in the history of track and field and obviously in the Olympics. But
It's
yeah, it is still rare, especially in the United States.
and it's hard. like
And it is hard.
like
Amen. Thank you. It is
like it,
very difficult to throw the javelin.
people who have heard this show have listened to people explain it, and it's still, even watching it, like my knees hurt watching y'all
Yep.
throw because
Let me
there's
tell
this
you,
pow.
and you can, and this happens all the time. It literally happened to me this year. I threw 53. I started with a 53-meter throw and I ended with a 65-meter throw. Like you can literally throw 65 meters one throw and then like 50 meters the next. And that's javelin. Like that's just what it is. And for a long time, I felt like I had to throw 60 plus meters every single time, every single time. And if I didn't, I was such a failure for that. But again, I was living in this comparison culture. And as I've matured in the sport and I've learned more and I've observed more, I feel like javelin is just a unique beast. And we can do everything in our power to be successful. And sometimes it's just not going to go your way that day. It just won't. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that you stop fighting for it. That doesn't mean that you stop pursuing what you want to pursue because you had a rough day or a rough week or even just a full rough season. You still keep fighting for what you want to accomplish.
The javelin used to say this back in the day. Just there's so many elements. If the weather's bad, if it's
Yep.
the wind and all that stuff. If people want to know about the javelin, here's the best way I can describe it from an outsider's point of view.
Yes, please school me on the javelin. Educate me, Dominique.
From an out did you not
I love
hear
it.
the prerequisite
No, no,
statement
I
that I
love it. I
said?
love it. I'm glad that
Okay.
you're going to say this. Yes.
Some days chicken, some days feathers. Like that's just what it is because like I said, again, that was an outsider's point of view
Yeah.
because it's just what I see on TV. Because sometimes you hear, okay, well, let me just go back when they show the highlights on
Yep.
TV,
Yep.
because they not really showing
Which
the
is like
actual.
what? I think the highlights come on once every 4 years, maybe 5 years. They'll show a highlight of the javelin. Is that accurate?
Once every 5 years, if and that's if it's a leap year,
If it made the cut,
if it made the cut, and
Yeah.
if there's pretty much the if the 5K and the 10K is not close,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Then you'll see the javelin.
Yeah.
Or if they're panning the camera around and they see what looks
It,
like a flying saucer in the air, they're like,
yep.
oh, well, we should probably go investigate to make sure it's
Javelin.
not an alien.
Yes. Yeah.
But your journey is so like unique because when I was doing research, that song, that commercial, I've been everywhere, man. Like you've gotten a chance to see so much of the United States, but you started out in the Big Ten.
Mhm.
Um, so GBR, and
GBR.
then you ended up at Gig'em down in Texas. So for those who don't know, what is that Gigamag? I don't know. I'm an
You want
Ohio
to?
State
Oh, I
fan,
can
so I don't
educate you. Do you want to know what it means or where it comes from?
go for it.
Okay, so because I used to be an ambassador for Texas A&M, so
Okay.
I had to share this story a lot. The details I'm a little foggy on now, but I'll give you the gist of it. So Texas A&M was playing uh, TCU in a football game, and during a halftime, I believe that we were down. Don't know the score or anything like that, but the coach said, "All we need to do is go out there and gig them." And gigging is gigging a frog. So you have a long pole and you hold the pole like this. So that's where the thumbs up comes from because see, the pole is right there and you gig frogs to kill them. And obviously they're the horned frogs. So we were going to go out there and gig them. You'll never hear that saying the same again. And you're welcome.
Oh, listen, I just don't plan on watching Texas A&M play at all this year. That just solidifies that decision for me. Um, so okay, and I have to add TCU to that list too. No
Yeah.
frogs and
Horned
no
frogs.
Aggies or whatever. The only thing about Texas A&M that looks lit is like you guys do a abbreviated bad version of swag surfing, like
I don't
the
know
night
what swag surfing is.
when you guys rock side to side and
Oh, that's we're sawing off the horns. Saw varsity's horns off, saw varsity's horns off, saw varsity's horns off. Short A whoop.
so I'm guessing TCU may have owed y'all some money.
No, I don't know. But we're sawing Texas's because we hate Texas, you
Oh
know.
well, who doesn't?
Exactly.
Ooh, sorry.
Hor-
I probably shouldn't
Horns
say that.
down, baby. So we're sawing them off. So every time you see in a sway, we're a human saw that is sawing the horns off. That's what that is.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah.
I can't wait till they play Texas in 2 years.
2024?
2020, whenever they move back to
I
the
think it's
SEC.
yeah, I think it's 2024. Yeah.
You learn something new every day.
I
As an
You
Ohio
probably
State
didn't think that I was going to sing on this, did you?
listen, the last two episodes we had with Carrie Tolson, we had a Boys to Men tribute.
Ooh.
And then me and John Anderson, we sang Gladys Knight and the Pips, Marvin Gaye,
Let's go.
and Larry Graham. So
Dang.
listen,
I
listen.
feel pretty underwhelming then in comparison.
So are you like no, you have a very nice singing voice and Texas A&M made you listen. If somebody needs somebody to guest star in your Sunday church choir, then call Sister Maggie, call
Come
Sister
on,
Hardin,
call me up.
and let the Lord use her. Um what was I gonna ask? I just
I
totally
don't
forgot.
know. I derailed us. You said
It's
GBR and then Gig'em. So I
no,
think
no,
you
no,
were
no, but I got to go back because there was
okay.
something. Yes, GBR Giggle. So Nebraska's your hometown. And so who do you pledge your allegiance to?
So man, okay. It's really hard. Because I was a Husker, obviously, and I think that you always will be a Husker growing up in Nebraska. Also, my dad played football there, my mom was a track athlete there. So I am a Husker and I also am an Aggie, and I love both. And also, I have not officially announced this yet, but I am officially moving to Lincoln, Nebraska to work with Justin St. Clair. So I'm going
Oh,
back to my home state to train at my old university, and I'm super excited about
look
it.
at you. Okay,
Full
let me stop and say
circle.
so.
Full
Maggie,
circle.
you have won 2000 and what year is this? 2022?
Yeah, I think so. I'd have to check the calendar, but yes.
Yes, Friday, August 19th, 2022. Okay.
Lovely.
You have won. So think about this. You got a chance to be a part of the World Championship in Oregon.
Yep.
You were on the team. You got that dope shirt. USA Track and Field hooked me up with that for free.
You should have
And
entered into
then
my giveaway. You could have won.
I ain't even okay. That sucks. Uh, if I could put if you have any extra shirts that I could put on layaway,
Okay.
then just let me
I'll see
know.
what I can do.
You got married
I
and
did.
now you're going home.
And now I'm going home. I
Gosh,
know.
if I didn't get in trouble for copyright, I would play P. Diddy's I'm Coming Home. But
I'm coming home.
yeah, like that's just amazing.
I
So
know.
how did the transition from Nebraska, and then we're going to get to some other stuff because
Yeah,
we could
yeah.
talk about the javelin all day, but
For sure.
I'm actually having fun talking about anything other than throwing.
Yeah.
But how did the transition from, well, why Nebraska
Yep.
to A&M,
Yep.
and then how did that help or even spark your interest and love for the javelin?
For sure. So, and I'm sure people have heard me say this before, but um, I mean, truly believe that God has just woven my story and he has just used the javelin to do his
Preach.
work and take me where he wants me to be. So what took me from Nebraska to A&M was after my freshman year at Nebraska, which was the first year that I was throwing the javelin, I went there as a heptathlete and ended as a javelin thrower. My family, who was in Geneva, Nebraska, my hometown, my mom and dad were offered coaching positions back in Texas. My dad's from Texas. He's a high school Texas football coach for years. And when they decided to get married, my mom was like, I am not living that Texas football life. Like, you're coming to Nebraska and you can coach here. And like any wonderful, dutiful husband, he did so. And so my dad for years when we were in Geneva, he was offered many times to go coach in different schools back in Texas, but my parents wanted us to stay in Nebraska because it's just a different beast. Like Texas football, very different than Nebraska football. And so they were offered positions in College Station, Texas, and Bryan, but College Station, it's basically one city. And my parents thought it was good timing for them to go take that move, take that opportunity to move. And then the same week that they decided to move there, my coach at the time at Nebraska, Chris Grimes, who's now at Kentucky, he called me and was like, "Hey Maggie, you had such a great season this year, like you made nationals, but I want to let you know that I just accepted a position at Texas A&M, which is in College Station, Texas." And so my coach was leaving, my whole family left, and he said, "And I think you should look up who the coach is at Texas A&M." And I was like, okay. And because Chris Grimes he's a pole vault and jumps and heptathlete, decathlete coach.
Mhm,
So he knew
mhm.
javelin enough, but he wasn't going to be a full-time javelin coach.
Right.
And so he said, you should look this up. So I look it up. It's Juan de la Garza, AKA Chico. And Chico is two-time Olympian, I believe, in the javelin, has had numerous national champions in the javelin. He was the Mexican national record holder. I mean, talk about one of the best coaches
Legendary.
to ever be, in the collegiate system ever.
Yeah.
And so my family just took a job there. My family's moving, my coach is moving, and I would have an opportunity to work with Chico. So to me, it really was God moving all of us, moving me to A&M. And it was a hard, hard, hard decision. I almost didn't leave. Actually, I called Chris Grimes. I told him that I was going to come, and then I called him and I said, I'm not going to come. And he said, just take a visit. And I took a visit and I was like, dang, I love it here. My whole family's here. And then my sister was also going to be on the team. So we were going to have an opportunity to be teammates together, which doesn't happen that often. And it really did just, it lined up. And I've never looked back. It was the best decision I could have made. And now I can say, and I met my husband there, which is amazing.
Yes. Yes. Oh, Lord, have mercy.
So,
See,
so
it's
many good things.
gosh, you took
Yeah.
that leap of faith and
Yep.
like look at you now. And you
Yeah.
see, this is how you know God specializes, because if you hadn't taken that leap of faith, not
Yeah.
only wouldn't you have gotten married, but you couldn't have come on the show and told me why y'all be doing all the stuff that you do down
Yeah,
at Texas A&M,
exactly.
because
And
you
I
wouldn't have
truly
been an
believe that.
ambassador.
Yeah, and I truly believe that I wouldn't have the success that I have now if it weren't for Chico and if it weren't for Coach Henry and that whole, I mean, the system. Like I had everything, I had my family there, my whole support system, like everything was in place to make me successful. And I just really truly believe that I wouldn't be a two-time Olympian if it weren't for making that move. And lately, especially this year, I found myself navigating out of fear a lot and making decisions out of fear and talking about reflection. I was reflecting in some of the journal entries that I had written from years ago, and I had written down, we don't make decisions out of fear. And I just was reminded of that. And I think that sometimes that's my default, is to not do something or to try to preserve what I have. And so I'm afraid to make a decision or change anything. And so I'm making decisions out of fear. And that was from that time in my life. And I remember, going through my devotional at that time, and it was like so clear that if I were to stay in Nebraska, it was only because I was afraid to leave.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so deep. Holy my. Wow. Well, I'm glad that you took that leap of faith, which if it was easy, then everybody would have it.
Yep.
But
That is true.
then we wouldn't have to go through the fun stuff that
Yeah.
life has to offer.
Yep.
What are three things? We'll switch gears from the track.
All right.
Three things that the human beings of this world do not know about you.
They don't know about me.
We already covered, we kind of covered
Should I
three,
ask
so.
Sam? Sam!
Oh, snap.
Sam, what's something that the most of the world wouldn't know about me? He said, "You're very clumsy."
Okay.
Which is true. I have bruises on my body a lot. Yep. We'll go with that. I'm very clumsy. I would say that they wouldn't know that I'm very sensitive. I'm very sensitive.
Really?
Yes, I'm very sensitive. And and emotional. Like I cry at everything. Um, yeah. And I would say the third one would be that hmm I love acting. It's very fun. It's something that I really enjoy and get a lot of life from.
So where do we start with this?
Well, of course we start at the clumsy spot. No, just kidding.
but but here's the thing. That's just you listen. In the store, I'm walking. Here's the thing about me. I have my earbuds in every time I'm walking in the store, and I'm listening to my oldies music. I don't like this
Okay.
new stuff that the kids
Yeah.
like. My old music, the
Yeah.
all stuff before we were even a thought.
Okay.
And I'll be walking, and then I got a high ankle sprain because I just tripped on my own 2 feet, and done. And you got to call the paramedics and everything, and
Yeah. Yeah.
you so that's life. I was clumsy when I came out the womb, so that is nothing. I don't call
Yep.
them bruises, I call them battle scars.
Battle scars. Yes.
Yes,
That's
people.
sometimes how they feel, honestly.
Yes, just we used to sing this old song in church. I'm on the battlefield for my Lord, and so when everybody,
Oh
well,
yeah.
how'd you get that bruise? It's a
I was
war
on the
going on.
battlefield for the Lord.
I promised him that I would serve him till I die. And
Oh
this is
man.
this is my this is
Yeah.
my this is my womb. Man,
If you could only see Sam, like there's sometimes that like I don't know, like I'll drop something or like it gets thrown across the room or I get thrown and like if you
you
could
get
only
thrown.
see Sam, yeah, like if you could only see Sam's reaction to that and he's just like, how? Like how the heck did that even how? Like that's not even possible. Like how did you
It's
do that?
it's like you're so disappointed.
Oh, yeah, it is. It is a pure like who did I marry disappointment look. And will
Oh,
our children have this trait?
oh my gosh. It's like what am I supposed to do with you? What's the
Oh,
clumsiest thing that has ever, I don't want to say ever, but
oh.
okay, if you got an ever story, then go for it.
Well, the one that comes to mind is that one time I was in the bathroom and I was trying to, I don't even know what I was trying to do. I think I was like washing my face or but I like had my phone
Oh, this
and
don't sound good.
yep. And I went to like turn and my this actually happens more to me than I told Sam this. I said, "Has this ever happened to you?" And he's like, "Absolutely not." And I don't, maybe I'll ask you this. Has this ever happened to you? Have you ever been like around a door and your pants get caught on the handle and you go to like walk, but you're stuck on the handle? Has this ever
So that almost, when did that happen?
happened?
A week ago, I was walking and the my pocket got caught on the knob and the door
Yes.
almost
Okay.
came off the
Yes,
hinge. So yes.
exactly. So this happens to me, and my retainer was on the corner of like the sink, and so when I was moving, I got caught, and then my phone went flying, and it hit my retainer, which fell straight into the toilet.
See,
Exactly. And I'm like, how? How? How did that happen?
there are very few times I have a major in journalism, so I have to, I'm used to talking to people, even as an
Yeah.
introvert. There are very few times where I'm rendered speechless. And I'm Maggie, I'm trying, sister, I'm
That's what I'm
trying.
saying. But like, okay, one, like I've literally ripped my pants on door knobs before. Like truly, like I've ripped
Oh,
them. Or like one time I was at my cousin's and she was having a Memorial Day party and I got caught on the cabinet. My shorts got caught on the cabinet like uh, handle.
so
Literally ripped my pants down the side. Like
so I was doing I was talking with a coach because every now and then we'll do a football podcast. He's a
yeah.
Miami fan, I'm a Ohio State fan. And so he was a former college football coach. And he said something that I think pertains to the situation because Miami was just getting the doors blown off of them against
Okay.
Alabama. He said, if you do it once or twice,
Yeah.
it's a mistake. 3 to 4 times, it's a bad habit. Anytime other every play,
Yep.
it's pretty much a lifestyle. So this is a
We're past the lifestyle number. I'll just say that. Like we're past
this
that at this point.
this is
Yes.
instead of stun as a habit, we should say ripping as a habit.
Ripping is a
Um
habit.
get like me.
Yeah.
Um I got a story that's worse that will make you feel better.
Please, yes. Worse than my retainer getting thrown into the toilet. Yeah.
I Lord have mercy. Okay, so this was a long time ago. So I'm at this, was it 4th of July? Yeah. So I don't do fireworks, right?
Yeah.
So we were, I was in high school, middle school, one of those ages. And so this family had money. I did, still don't, but I had never been on a lake that big. And so we're hanging out, it's late. They
Yeah.
had this little boat. It was a plastic sailboat. And
Okay.
so everybody's just putting the fireworks in the boat to see if it'll explode on the water.
Oh boy.
And so they had these tiki torches. And so I was like, nah, I don't want to do that. It's already about to pop off. And so this is before this like $10,000 fireworks display.
Okay.
I had a bottle rocket.
Oh boy. Do you know
Um,
how many stories that I have heard that start with I had a bottle rocket that end wrong?
I
I
did
know too
not,
many.
okay, I did not know the power of the bottle in a rocket form. So I'm watching everybody observing, and I'm like observing, and I'm like, okay, I can do this.
Oh
It's
heavens.
about 10 o'clock. And so to get to the lake, it's like a little hilly thing, and then there's these tiki torches, and then it goes to the dock. So I take the I take the bottle rocket,
Okay.
light that thing up. It leaves my hand, zoom,
Yep.
and I go back to the top of the little hill thing. Rocket hit the tiki torch, made a U-turn, hit me, and I just rolled down. And I'm like, ah, and everything.
After you had just summoned the courage to do this.
Listen, I had that mustard seed kind of faith, Maggie,
Yep.
and I'm like, um, that thing did a U-turn.
I've
It's like
never
I've
seen
never seen a firework do a U-turn. Like
never,
what?
not one time.
And I'm going, and here's the thing. That's what I was like, this got to be demonic because I'm going up. The tiki torch is down. The tiki torch is facing hell.
Oh
And
man.
it did a U-turn. And not only did I get hit, I rolled.
Oh yeah.
Big people don't roll well. And I'm just out there crying. I'm like, Lord have mercy. I can't do fireworks. That's why I hate 4th of July. I hate
Yeah.
any day where explosives are lit.
Yeah, same.
And
I generally like to put my money in a bank, not burn it.
thank you.
So, yeah.
Thank you. You know, so I hope that gives you some peace.
It does actually.
Um,
Because yeah, that's one of those moments where you're like, how? How could that even possibly have happened?
I'm like, Lord, I'm going up yonder, and this thing, I pointed it towards hell. I wanted it to hit hell, and then it bounced up, and I'm trying to go up, and then it brought me back down.
Yep,
Like,
yep.
what kind of nonsense is this?
That's funny.
I've done some stupid things when I was first learning to walk. I don't know what I had, with air handlers, but I just walked right into it and bounced
Yeah.
back like a bad habit.
Oh yeah.
Um, gosh, I've done so many stupid things,
Yep.
but not intentionally. So I hope that
Yeah,
you know
like
that there's a
your heart was like pure in them, right? Like I feel like that sometimes. I'm like my heart was pure in this situation.
well, I know the Bible says, "Blessed are the pure in heart," because I hope
Yeah.
if I come struggling and straining to the pearly gates, just know I mean it.
Yep.
Um, there's pretty much with the clumsiness, and I think that take this motto with you if you get nothing
Mhm,
else from this podcast. My coach, when I was playing football, we lost a game that we shouldn't have lost.
mhm.
And he looked at us and said, good effort, poor execution. Um, and so that's a life hack
Yeah, it is.
when it comes to stuff.
Absolutely. Yes.
Acting.
My motto.
I can see you being like an actor because you have that energy.
Yeah. So I used to do speech and drama and everything in high school. And
Oh,
yeah, I loved it. Like it is truly one of the most fun and freeing places that I can be. Like it's so fun. And that's why I'm thankful to have gone to a small school, right? Like my school, I had 38 people in my class. So in a small school, you get to do a lot of different things. And whereas in a bigger school, sometimes you don't have that opportunity to do speech and be on the volleyball team or whatever it is. And I'm so thankful that I had that. And because my parents were teachers, I remember growing up and we would be at the high school all the time, like literally lived there. And after school, we'd come home. I'd say come home, but we would go to the school
Yeah.
and they would have practice, either like singing practice, like choir or something. And I would just sit as like, a first grader, second grader, and I would just watch them all the time, like just these high school kids performing or whatever. And it was my favorite. Like you could not pull me out of there.
What was I thought my school was small. Graduated. My graduating
Oh,
class was like
bro.
70,
Yeah.
and yours,
Pretty.
you can't even field a two deep squad on a football team. Um, what was and I don't know. It's interesting because I dabbled in as an actor.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, when I was
I
in
could see
elementary
that.
school.
I could see that for you though too, because you got a good personality. Yeah.
I was what they call a one hit wonder. I did a see I played Santa Claus um in fourth grade. That gets to listen.
Oh man, highlight,
I
highlight
was
of
it was
your
crazy.
life.
It's
When
just
people
even
ask you,
looking.
they're like, "What was the pinnacle like accomplishment that you had?" And you're like, "In fourth grade, I played
Listen,
Santa Claus."
it was fourth to fifth grade, and so my school was there was only like two or three white kids just because of the location.
Okay.
So I'm looking at the pictures, and
Will
you
you
got
post
me.
those? Can you find those and post those, please?
I I need honestly
What do
we
we
were
need to do to
talking.
see these pictures? Where do we need to go?
Uh, where's my Instagram account?
I want to
My
see
personal is
Dominique playing Santa.
I'll no you don't. But it was
Yes, I
cool.
do.
So it is what's my per I don't even know. We'll do it later, but
Yeah.
I remember like I had to go get I think I still got the uniform. I had to get gloves, so I got these like Michael Jackson gloves, and
Wait,
then I got
did you just say the Santa Claus uniform?
yeah, ain't that's what he wear. Whatever the case might be.
Not a
Yeah,
costume, uniform.
uniform costume. It was the same. I had the hat. I had the little. It was either the Michael Jackson gloves or the church gloves that they used to do the offering,
Yes.
count the money. I think I had like some little Timberlands or whatever the case might be. I was decked out. I was ready to go in full uniform. We had this small behind stage that they found a way to put as the living God is my witness. We had a sleigh on stage, and you asking these little
Oh.
50-pound kids to pull me like a little reindeer, and so everybody's just like munching down to the
Is there a
stage.
video? I need
There,
to see video of this.
there is, and I just remember the crowd laughing, like, "What is y'all doing?" So after
Oh
that,
my gosh.
and I did sign an autograph, so that was like the pinnacle. But
Man,
and then that's why I retired. Like you can't. There's nowhere to
you
go
went
but
out on a high
down.
note. Yep, yep.
Yeah, literally. And I'm like, Lord, we're gonna fall off the stage. Like
I
this
love it.
is,
Oh,
and
so good.
so it just it just looked weird. Like you got all these little black kids put like as reindeers and Miss Claus and all this stuff.
Gosh.
Um I will never forget that. Like them trying to carry me. It was
Yes.
anyway, but I would like what was your go-to? What was your Santa
Mhm.
Claus moment?
So, in a similar vein, I'll match you with an elementary one first, but
Okay.
I was the candy cane kid. Yeah.
Oh snap! I seen
Oh,
it.
snap. Yes, I was a candy cane kid, and I think it was like a Western meets North Pole vibe. Is what the whole
So a rhinestone cowboy,
yes, so like a rhinestone cowboy, but cowgirl because it was
cowgirl,
me. And I was a candy cane kid, and the bad one was like bubblegum Bart or something like that. I don't
bubble
even
gum
yes.
shot.
Shout out to bubblegum Bart, all
Free
right?
my dog Bart with that gum on him. That's crazy.
Oh my god.
Free my dog Bart, man. Bubblegum Bart. He ain't do nothing.
Oh my god, I love this so much. Oh, and you know what? As I'm saying this, I don't even think this was the highlight. In kindergarten, when I broke my leg, I we did a play. We did what is it, like Billy Goat Gruff, like the three Billy Goats? You know that story?
No,
You ever heard that story? You
no.
know, like in the troll that's under the bridge. It's like,
We
don't cross my bridge. No?
we're from different places, so no,
Sorry.
we
Different demographic of the world in
yeah.
Nebraska. So I don't even, what is that story called? People know this. It's like three Billy Goats Gruff or something like that. Billy Goats Gruff. I played the troll under the bridge
Why? Oh, that is cold blooded.
because
And
I
look,
couldn't walk. I could only stand because I had a broken leg. And so they just put a mask on me.
that is so bad.
I wonder if
Listen.
there's a picture of that somewhere. That's so funny.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. All them people who made you play the injured troll.
The injured troll, and you can't cross my bridge.
Oh my gosh, that's so bad. Why is she playing the troll? Her leg hurt, so we had to figure out. No, all you
Yeah,
need to go up and be like, listen, we made
yeah.
it. We made it.
Yes,
I was
we
the
did.
we made
But
it. I
yes,
was
that's what I did. Those were my elementary ones. But in high school, I did like so there's speech and there's speech competitions and whatnot. And I was always in it's called OID, which is an ensemble. And
okay.
then I did the poetry one, which was like performative storytelling through poetry.
Okay.
So those are both of mine, and I loved it. I mean, it's so fun. It's so you get to play all like the whole time. It's just like playing.
I haven't we didn't do that. I was actually in speech. Really,
Yeah.
when I was in elementary school, started speech, and then did competitions and stuff like that. I never had that kind of that would be so fun though to do
So fun.
that. And then I
Yes.
took it in college. Um,
Yeah.
I could see you like bawling out and there are two series right now. If they're like, listen, we need somebody that's better than the squad that we have, somebody that has that if LeBron James and Michael Jordan were able to clone somebody, that's the kind of
Mhm.
potential that you have. You would
Mm.
be killer, killer.
Maybe the highest compliment I've ever received. I'm gonna be honest.
Listen,
But fun
killer.
fact,
What's that?
my birthday is also on LeBron James and Tiger Woods. So, I mean, I feel like I was born on like a greatness birthday.
That's why you the GOAT. Listen, you're just like, no, I'm not good.
I'm
It's
not, but
Kara and stuff. Listen, you were born into greatness. You listen, what's your birthday?
December 30th. Yep.
5 days after Jesus. You was born on the same month that he was. Somebody, come on
Yeah,
now.
I
Somebody
know. Praise.
praise him.
Yep.
Won't he do it? Won't he do it? Um, forgot what I was gonna say. That's how important. That's greatness. That's greatness
Yeah.
in this podcast.
Yeah.
But oh, like I was saying, the two shows you would kill Grey's Anatomy,
Oh, Grays. Love it.
and I could see you doing Broadway, Sound of Music.
Oh, that's my favorite.
I they
I
did a
love
live
Sound.
they did a live one. I think back in 2013. I think it would be better than Carrie Underwood's part. I think we
Oh,
should do a
yeah, I
swap
forgot
there.
that she did that. You're right. I wish I
Listen,
could sing like Carrie, but just don't got the
it's
pipes.
it's okay.
But
Very few people do.
I do rock out to some Maverick City.
I've never heard of them.
You never heard of Maverick?
So, what music? Enlighten me on a music
I
choice
can't
on
believe you've
music.
never heard of Maverick. They are the best Christian group right now. They're so good.
Oh, you see, I don't listen to the current stuff. And it's funny, as you were talking, I was going through my Instagram to see if I posted the Santa Claus one, but I
Yeah,
have
please.
posted pictures of my personal Instagram. I cannot post this to Lactic Acid's Instagram.
You have to.
I
Everybody, we must make him. Everybody comment on a video that says free Santa Claus.
if I have to
Hashtag
find
free Santa.
hashtag free Santa. And then I will have James Brown's song "Santa Claus Goes Straight to the Ghetto" underlining the the picture. Santa Claus
Oh my
goes straight to the ghetto. Hitch
gosh.
up your reindeer. Mm. Go straight to the ghetto. See, that's
Hey.
that's the jam. See, with the Christian music, and I had this conversation. Marley Starlofer and I talked about it.
Mhm.
But she was like, I think maybe I don't think she named that, but I was like, my jam back in the day was like Lincoln Brewster and
Yes, Lincoln Brewster.
Lecrae.
McCrae.
I did a little Israel and New Breed. There's like
Mm.
Jeremy Camp. There's like Chris
Oh
Tomlin.
yeah,
There was
Jeremy.
Hillsong.
Oh
There
yeah,
was
Hillsong still's got. I mean, Hillsong is like a tried and true, bro.
yeah.
Maverick City music. They are
I
so,
thought
Gyra. You never heard of Gyra? Gyra, you are enough. Never?
no.
Oh my gosh, you have got to listen to it. It's so good.
Gyra. I thought you. Oh, okay. I was thinking something else because that's like a food location
With
here.
Chandler Moore. Do you know Chandler Moore?
No.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well,
Okay. So
everybody,
Maverick
go
City.
listen to Maverick City, Chandler Moore. Gyra is the best song. So good.
Gyra. Okay.
Yep.
Gyra. Um, I'm writing that
And you
down.
won't.
I have to find. I have to write that down. And I'm like looking through. I have my notes app on, and I'm looking at. I'm still looking for that Christmas picture. I have my ugly sweaters. I have an impressive Christmas collection on the personal one.
Do
But
you?
yes, because Christmas. Listen, I'm looking forward to
You go hard for Christmas?
September 22nd is the first day of fall. That's when we slowly incorporate Christmas music into the fold. We
Love it.
start a little bit of soul. We start with the Sound of Blackness with just a dribble of Boys to Men with a slight
Ooh.
chance of Sister Whitney Houston, God bless the dead.
Oh,
And
right.
then we start to by November, we
You're
hitting Frank
rocking out.
Sinatra.
You're
Yeah,
hitting it. Yep.
Frank them.
You get
Uh
you got what's his name? White Christmas. What's his name?
Buble?
No.
Who like
The
uh
old oldies guy. You know,
Bing Crosby.
Bing Crosby. Yeah.
I got Pastor Bing. Yeah, I got Big Bing on there.
You vibe with him.
I
I
vibe with
love him.
Bing. I vibe with Bing, Dean,
Yeah.
Frank, even though I sound like Stank Sinatra sometimes.
Let me tell
Um,
you, I am looking so much to being in Nebraska during Christmas time because it's gonna be cold.
I'm
Let's
trying
go.
Maggie, we might be related
Let's be related.
somehow because I went to Nashville because I got to get out of this heat stroke that is Florida because it was like 87 degrees on Christmas Day.
Yeah, with probably like
How
100% humidity.
it's not the humidity is not bad in the winter, but I'm like, Lord, how I'm supposed to be decking the
I
halls
know.
or as Eddie Kendrick say, give love on Christmas Day when
Mm,
it's hot.
yep.
But no,
I'm not dashing through the snow in College Station, Texas. I need to be dashing through the snow in Nebraska when it's
and
cold
and
out. Got
and
my
Nebraska.
fire. Yeah.
Listen, talk about
Well, you're
Chestnuts Road.
invited. If you wanna get out of Orlando, come on over to Lincoln during Christmas time. We'll do it right for you. We,
Listen,
yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, I might have to
Yep.
because I went to Nashville, Maggie. I was so cold, my teeth were shivering. I couldn't feel my toenails. I couldn't feel any part of my body, and I was still trying to give God praise with just
Oh
frozen
yeah.
hands. Because I'm
Yep.
like, I was like, is this cold? I was like,
Yep.
I think I got off the plane waiting for my Lyft driver, and and they looked at me like I was so crazy because I was like, it is Bob Marley's like, is this love? Is this love that I'm feeling? And I was like, is this cold? Is this cold? Is this cold? Is this cold that I'm feeling? It's like, are you the guy we're supposed to pick up? I'm like, yes.
Yes.
So
Yes. That is me.
I
Yes.
might have to make that move. But speaking
Do
of
it.
Instagram, there was something that I saw. I'm a big food brother. I'm big on fried chicken. I believe that is good for the body and bad for the soul, but more so, I'm sorry, it's bad for the body and good for
But
the
good
soul.
for the soul. I got you. I was following.
Yes. See. my girl right there.
Yep.
You made some lamb.
Oh, yeah.
I need you to
In the
go.
crock.
I didn't know that you was about that. See, let me tell you something about a crock pot. Y'all think y'all got to be Alex going to Shelly and all them. We have it's my mom and I. This is the episode I hope she doesn't listen to because we call it crap in a pot.
You don't like it?
No,
Oh.
no, crap in a pot is when you get all the crap from your refrigerator and you put it in a crock pot and you see you season it.
Oh my God, my mom
And,
did this.
but we got a label for it. We call it crap in a pot. You
I
season
love
it
it.
and you out here looking like, let me tell you something.
Yep.
Some of the best meals I've ever had was on accident.
Yep.
I
Yep.
came in and said, listen, mom, I don't
And you
know.
can't recreate it either. That's the other
You,
thing.
I didn't write it down.
Yep.
I can't recreate it. I tried.
Yep.
It does not work.
No.
It's just some crap in a pot, and
Yep.
all you have to do put some seasoning and then put some
Mhm.
chicken broth in it. And
Yep.
but tell me about that lamb. I'm watching the video
Yep.
as we speak, just to because I need to figure out where you got that crock pot from because it's
Dude,
legit.
that's just a Instapot.
Oh, okay.
It's a pressure
Well,
cooker Instapot. They're great.
Instapot, y'all need to sponsor two people who really could use your services because my
Yeah.
crock pot
Dude,
looked like it's been
Instapot
on
is
hot
great.
dogs.
Wait for Black Friday though. They have some solid deals.
Oh
Um,
gosh.
but yeah, I'm not a cook, I'm not a chef. I'm not good at it.
That's a cap. Listen, I just saw this. This, let me tell you something. This was at the Last Supper.
This is the Last Supper.
I'm
Wow, what
trying
a
to tell you,
compliment. Oh man.
that looked
No, it
good.
really was so easy. So we love Mediterranean food and I found it was like a Mediterranean lamb recipe. So it was super easy and yeah, it was just like rosemary, and I love rosemary. So if you don't like rosemary, it's not a good flavor for you probably, but I love rosemary and garlic, lemon, just a lot of different flavors that converge into such a savory experience. But it was really easy. I was nervous that it was going to come out looking like just horrible. I was so scared. I was like, well, I'll see what happens. But it was really good. It was the most tender lamb I've ever had. Like Sam and I devoured it truly, like in one night. I was like, let's go hard on this thing.
Oh
It was
man.
really good.
Listen, you can't say you're not a chef.
I'm not though, because I'm not the person that can like, I'm not good with like, try this flavor or this. My dad is so good at that. Sam's pretty good at that too. But I'm more of like a rule follower. Like I read the recipe and I like try to do that. I maybe added a little bit here and there, but yeah, it really was just the recipe to be honest.
Here's why I stopped following cooking rules. I made some gnocchi. And
I do love gnocchi.
well, the first part of that word is what my little potato balls were. No, because
No.
I followed the recipe 5, 6 minutes, or no, 7 minutes. And I'm like, I just made charcoal balls. And so I'm like, listen, let me tell you how black them things were. It looked like country, like the country night. You from the country. I got
Yeah,
family in Alabama.
yeah,
And everybody knows there's a rule in the country. When the sun go down, you stay your behind inside.
yep.
I wouldn't even go to my car. Like, honestly, in Tallahassee, it got so dark and I had to go get something from the car.
Yeah.
And I was like, no, 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 no. You're gonna have to wait till the morning.
Not today.
Yeah, wait
Get
till
a
the sun
gator.
goes out. Get a gator, get a
Yeah.
bear, get
Yep.
but
No.
anyway. So I had to like adjust and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
But that, listen, I just had to ask about that, the nice
It
white
was so
wine touch.
easy.
Here's
Yeah.
how I know you're a chef, because every chef does the same thing. If you cook with wine, it is only right that you have to taste some.
Oh, well, it could be that or just that I like alcohol. So
Oh, hey, listen.
and I'm in off season right now, so I can actually drink alcohol, which is great.
Oh man, what's your go-to?
Oh, I love beer. I love beer so much. Oh,
See, I hate beer. But now let me say this. I have
I
a
love
good friend of mine, close friend of mine in Minnesota. She said, get flavored beer. Beer has to
Yeah.
have some
I
kind of
mean,
like
yeah, whatever you like. Yeah, like it's up to your palate. I love just tasting different kind of beers. So I like an IPA, but my favorite is like a thick stout or porter. Like I like a coffee beer, like a peanut butter beer. Like I love that so much.
a coffee beer.
Yeah, it's so good.
Isn't cold brew bad enough?
Oh, dude, I just had a cold brew today. Just had a nitro
Lord,
cold brew and I loved it. And I
I
literally posted, does anybody else think that this is like a beer when you order it?
I don't get y'all coffee drinkers, man,
Oh,
drinkers.
we
I
are
I
we are
hate.
the Hardin household is a heavy coffee drinking household.
I am anti-coffee. I'd rather have a mayonnaise-based sauce than I'd rather take
Pull
a
this full
bath.
circle.
I'd rather take a bath in Chick-fil-A sauce than drink
Oh
a
my
cup of
God.
coffee. I'm not.
Wow.
I can't do it. I
No.
tried it
Well,
once and I had it milked down and I had heart palpitations because my body wasn't used to it. And I thought I was going to see Jesus. I'm not lying. It's like my heart ain't will not stop beating fast.
oh, well, I am so sorry for you because I feel like you're missing out on one of the best parts in life, which is to have coffee and maybe have a latte with a friend or an espresso with your friend somewhere. And oh, it's just so good.
So when people want to meet for coffee, I just get some water and a dough or a little cookie or something like that.
My please.
I think I did a poll because I was willing to try coffee, and I did a poll.
Okay.
And I this was about a year ago. It was on one of those social media apps, it was like Instagram or Facebook, and asked what coffee would you guys suggest.
Yeah.
And so I did this poll and I tried the observation, and then I came to a simple conclusion that I would rather be tired for the rest of my life than to drink coffee.
I
Um,
cannot imagine. Like, why?
I
Why?
just, first of all, these mocha frappa crappa crappes
Okay, well,
cost
those are bad.
$25.
No.
They
That like don't get that. You just need so I'm gonna do a big shout out to our old roommate in Birmingham, Ethan Shalloway, because I was a lost soul. I was a Starbucks drinker. I thought Starbucks was good coffee, and he totally changed the way that I
Duncan.
do coffee. And he was a barista. He is a barista. I don't know if that ever leaves you. So barista for life, maybe? Question. Um, and he taught both Sam and I how to make really good coffee, and he changed my life for the
my
better.
my what's that old R&B song? My whole life has changed
Yep, that
since
was
coffee
when he made
came.
me an a Ethiopian pour
Oh,
over in his chemics. I was like, my life has changed.
okay. Listen, I tried to tell you. She telling me Maverick City. She trying to go into Maverick City. Insane.
Yeah.
I thought Maverick City was a movie, but I think I
No,
was
you
thinking
have
about
to
Top Gun or something.
seriously listen. I want you to listen to it and then DM me or email me after because I think you're gonna love it. I hope you
I
love it.
I'm gonna listen. I'm not opposed to new music at
Yep.
all. It's just been so long. Like I still have an iPod. So people have Apple Music. I still have an iPod. Uh,
What?
yeah. Is that
Wow.
is
Good
that
for
bad?
you. I just haven't, I'm gonna be honest, I haven't engaged with an iPod user in a long time.
Okay. Well,
No, I just that's amazing.
yeah. That's where I keep my music, and
Yeah.
that's just my jam.
Yeah.
All right. Want to ask this before we switch gears. In the off season, what does a day without
Training.
what is the offseat training like? What is like the
Yeah.
Maggie Malone? What's the TV? What's the go-to
Ooh.
meal? Where you
Yeah.
trying to eat all that stuff? Give the people what they want to know. That's what the
I
OJ said.
I'll be yeah. I will be honest, I did try to do like nothing for the first week or whatever, and I can't just like lay on the couch forever. And also Sam is very active. So like we will go on a hike or I mean, yeah, like we go to the gym. And so a typical day would be, wake up, make my espresso, and my diet isn't as dialed in right now, which is I'm glad doesn't need to be.
You don't
So
need to. Mm-mm.
Exactly. Yeah. So like a perfect day would be like making a almond flour pancakes with some fruit and butter, and it's so yummy. And then we may go on a hike somewhere or go to the gym, do a little exercise, gotta hit the sauna, gonna be in there for about 20 minutes, and then a little ice shower after or ice tub if you got that. Um,
Hit the
Maybe hitting
sauna.
up, yep, sauna.
Sauna. That's that
Sauna.
Texas.
No, okay, so everybody thinks it's Southern, but I have to say it that way because my now mother-in-law, her name is Sana, and she is from Finland, who basically invented the sauna, and they say sauna, and if I say sauna, they make fun of me. If
Well,
you,
you can't go to be like, I got to hit the sauna because they'll be thinking that you talk
I'm
about a
hitting my
porn.
mother-in-law.
Yeah, so we can't say that. I get that.
No, so it's sauna. Um,
Sauna.
Yeah. So yeah, so doing that, and then for lunch, probably get pizza. Pizza is my favorite meal of all time. We will be
What
serving
kind?
that.
What
Yeah.
kind of pizza? I hate to cut you off. What kind of pizza? I'm a.
I love, okay, so there's a place out here that's like a healthy pizza place, but I love a barbecue chicken pizza. Is so good to me.
Ooh.
Yeah, barbecue chicken. But then the other half is a sweet, like, okay, it sounds disgusting, but it actually is really good. It's salami and fig or something like that. And so it sounds
Okay.
gross, but it
No, it
actually
goes.
is really freaking good.
I can see that because the
Yeah.
saltiness of the salami with the sweetness
Yep.
of the
With a little
figs.
bit of sweetness of that fig. Yeah, it's really good. So I could pound a pizza, right? Like it is, mm, I love it.
Mm.
So pizza could maybe have like a little beer from brewery somewhere. Sounds really
Okay.
fun. Yeah.
So you
TV.
live
What's
the
on
life.
the TV? We watch a lot of different things on Netflix or Peacock. We just watched the Alberto Salazar documentary on
Ooh,
Peacock last night, which was really good.
okay.
Um, so we just watched that. I love reality TV. My best friend Annie Coons got me into that cult. So I love Real Housewives of anything.
Oh boy.
Yep. Yep.
So
I'm all
I'm
about
gonna
it.
I'm gonna ask you. I got three more questions,
All
and
right.
then I want to talk just a little bit about faith, and then we're gonna wrap this up like a two
Perfect.
piece in a biscuit on a Sunday afternoon.
Do you just make those up on the fly? Like, how does your
Yes.
brain? Okay, I love
What?
it.
Yeah. I think I wish I had a shirt, but I used to have a recruiting notebook called Two Piece in a Biscuit, and it's two pieces of chicken chasing a biscuit.
Oh my gosh,
So
I love this.
yeah,
We just watched an episode of The Office, and do you watch The Office at all, or have you
I
ever?
oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, there's the episode. It's Michael, and then what is her name? Joe or whatever. It's Kathy Bates'
Oh yeah,
character that
Kathy
takes
Bates.
over, and she has all those. She's from Tallahassee, and she has all
Mm-hmm.
those sayings. And then Michael tries to match her with sayings and he just like says nonsense. And the one that she said, Sam and I kept saying this to each other. She said, "You better be on his ass like whitey tidies." And he said, I'm gonna be on him like moss on a Mississippi tree. And she said, "Is the way that I said it not clear enough?" I
I do
I got
remember that episode because she just looked
you,
at him.
oh my gosh. But
Uh,
every time that you've said something, it like makes me think of her because I'm like, maybe it's just a Florida thing. Y'all know how to your sayings just roll
well,
off the tongue.
my family kind of is originated from Alabama,
Wait,
so
where? Because we were in Birmingham and Sam's from, well, he was from Gainesville and then they live in Auburn now.
Tuskegee,
Okay.
and I have family in the Birmingham area too.
All right. I
So
love
I
BM.
will be rattling off some stuff that you've never heard. I mean, there's things I haven't used yet, like hot sauce on the pork rind, uh, different things like that. So, like I said,
Yeah.
just keep
Sorry to
waiting.
derail us, but I had to jump on that. Okay.
Um, I asked this to somebody else on the show because she loved. I hate reality television.
Yeah.
Because to me, sports is the biggest reality television show that there is. If track and field had a reality show, what, but none of like the Real Housewives of
None of the
Beverly
drama,
Hills.
none of the like fabricated drama. Okay.
No, and none of the, because that's not like
Yeah.
real. Like,
No,
and
I
I
know.
hate this.
Yep.
I used to watch some of it, and some of it is like funny. Like Nene Leakes on
Exactly.
the bus. Like I don't know, she was. I don't know who. I didn't even see the whole video. I saw it on Twitter actually,
Yeah.
and she like mocked this person by just calling them what they had on because she
Yep.
was like in her okay glasses. It's like what? It's like what? Okay.
She's the best. Yes.
Uh, but track and field, I think would be perfect
For
because
reality.
you okay. So think about it.
Yep.
The javelin throwers are the most tight knit group of any event in track and field.
Hmm.
But then you got these running
Oh
clubs,
yeah.
and then you got these sprinters.
Yep.
How would you center it? Yeah, if we were going to do that, how would you center it?
Sam and I have said this a lot because I truly think that there is a space that you can like have track and field stories. And the thing about track and field is that the thing that makes track and field interesting to people who don't normally watch it is the backstory, right? So Sydney McLaughlin making her first Olympic team at age 16. People are drawn to that. She's 16 years old. Oh my gosh, like that's incredible. Or Karsten breaking the 400-meter hurdle world record, like the build up story to that. That's what you need to follow. So the way that I would structure it, I mean, it totally depends. Like you could go, if they would buy it, you could go rivalry stories. So you could
Mm.
go, Fred Curley versus somebody, I don't know, like
It'd
Fred
probably
Curley
be like
versus the world.
probably Marcel Jacobs.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, like you can make these stories, but obviously they would need to sign off on it. So you follow these camps, right? Like you could do almost like a Last Chance U type story.
Oh,
Love Last Chance U. Um,
but that's bad. That means okay, well then somebody got kicked out of track and field.
no, 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 no. But what I'm saying is, you know how they showed the one story, but they're showing these other schools as well in the
Gotcha.
journey.
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I'm
I
saying.
got
So
you.
it's almost like
Okay.
a Last Chance U like storyline of them following maybe two, three athletes along the way. So I think that's a really cool, however you would structure it, it needs to be the backstory, the buildup of what the performance is, whether it's good or whether it's bad.
Okay.
That's how you, I think that's how you garner excitement. That's how you go, and you show the like, I think people have an idea of what it means to be a professional athlete, right? They have this
Mm-hmm.
idea that you're making money, you're sponsored, whatever it is. To show the underbelly of that, of athletes like myself who are not sponsored, or people who have had these incredible performances and they work at, Brooke Anderson works at Chipotle, is a world champion, like best throw in the world this year. To show those stories, that would bring such a light to our sport and such an understanding of what we actually go through. I think those are the stories that should be highlighted, to be honest.
And you have a full-time job, if I'm not mistaken,
I
as
do.
well.
Yes. Yes.
Excuse
Yeah. So
me.
I work for a leadership company called Wild Spark. Love it. Love the culture. Love the people. And I'm super fortunate to be able to do both. That they understand my dream. So yeah, I think showcasing those and highlighting those stories of the people who are not sponsored, who are grinding to make an Olympic team, to get a medal, to whatever, whatever they are achieving, man, what gravity would that bring to fans of the sport or people who
It's
aren't fans?
people like, and then we'll transition after I ask this next question, but people celebrate like Abby Steiner came out and said she signed a $2 million contract, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's like, that's awesome. Get your money, Abby. But when you think about it, right? The veteran minimum for the NBA
Yeah.
for a year
Hmm.
is more than what she's making on a
Absolutely.
long-term contract.
Yep.
and she's faster than that person.
Yep.
She's going to create more market value than that person. And this is no shade towards
Oh,
the veteran minimum, because sports are hard,
yeah.
but that is not something to celebrate because Usain Bolt should have gotten as much money as the best football player
Yeah.
or the best basketball player.
Or LeBron James. Yeah. Like
Or
think lifetime contract that LeBron has.
and his a lot of his stuff is like he's known well with endorsements,
Yeah.
Blaze Pizza, which is the best pizza in the world,
It's
in
the
my
best
opinion.
pizza. Yeah.
It is I'm so glad that you agree. That's why I say we family over here. We
We're
family.
family. We're family.
Um, but it's just incredible to me because I don't like when you tell me that you have a full-time job and that you throw and you are 1000% in both of them. To me, if you want to have a full-time job, then I have no problem with that. I think that's awesome.
Hmm.
But some people have to.
Yeah, for
Like
sure. Because
like
it the reality is that a lot of us have jobs so that it can fund our performances. It can fund us to do this sport.
you throw the javelin and the javelin takes such a toll on the
Hmm.
body. We talk about, and that's why I said not to dive too deep into this, but we talk about the physical aspects that a javelin thrower has.
Yeah. Hmm.
You don't need to bench press 478 pounds,
Yeah.
75 pounds,
I
or
mean, I can, but
you
yeah.
can't. Now we not like you. You Captain America. Now
Yeah.
here's the thing. We It's true. Maggie's so big time, you can't call her Captain America. She Captain America. Like you can't even put that. That's its own category.
American power.
Yeah, American power,
Bring it
American.
back to that ice
Uh,
cream. American
yeah,
power.
American power. That's why she got her own ice cream and everything
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
that.
Hmm.
What was that song, American Woman or whatever?
American woman.
Woman. Yeah,
Yeah.
when they saw that, it was like, oh, y'all seen this girl, Maggie? We need to write a song about that. The Lord let them see into the future. And so, you know, it's it's more than that. You have to work on your arm, your shoulder, your elbow.
Mm.
To
Yeah.
me, the javelin, whoever wrote head, shoulders, knees, and toes knew was a javelin thrower.
Oh no.
um,
Yes. Oh, yeah.
because your shoulder and your
Yeah.
elbow,
Yeah.
all of that, because you gotta, and technique is so important. And then you are landing hard to generate power to get underneath that javelin and release. So you're
Yeah.
taking care of so many aspects
And I'm gonna
of
be
your body.
honest, like this may be a man, and I've debated saying this or not. It's kind of a controversial thing to say, and this is of no disrespect to any runner or anything, but there have been so many times and many conversations that I've had with other javelin throwers, international javelin throwers, Olympic champion javelin throwers, who have said, man, I wish that I could just be good at running sometimes. Like it would be easier to be a sprinter, or I wish that I could do that, to be honest, because there's so many elements that go into javelin, and it's so freaking hard. Like,
Mhm.
just like you were saying, you have to think about your shoulder, your ribs, your back, your leg, your posture, your everything. And the one angle of degree could be off, and when you release the javelin, and it's completely different. That's the it's the whether you're throwing 65 meters or you're throwing 53 meters that day. Like, there's so many elements that you have to have in check to make you successful. And I feel like, especially in running, you don't see the variance of um or really kind of like the volatility of their performances. You're not going to see an 800 runner ever run 5 seconds slower from one race to the next. Whereas javelin, you may see a 5 meter difference or 3 meter difference from one throw to the next.
If you do, it means that person is hurt.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
so I didn't take what you said as disrespectful, because it wasn't saying that it's easy being a
No, it's not
sprinter
easy.
or
No.
being a distance runner or anything, but with javelin, you can't throw every day. You can't throw
No.
every day. Because when you
It's like
release it,
3 days max for me. And two of those days, like I throw twice a week because my body, we tried throwing 3 times a week and it was destroyed. Like I just could not I can't take um, the amount of throws. Like the compounding throws was a detriment to me.
right. And so the javelin is tough because, and I think because we don't respect field events, and it
No. Yeah.
I can say on this show, I love talking to throwers because as a high school thrower, and I wasn't very good, I'm not going to sit here and say that I was Superman, um, but I know the struggles that I had. It's multiplied as you get to the next level. And I love hearing the athlete's point of view on this because this is hard. And the thing, like you said, if the slightest thing is off, or even if there is, and I used to hate this specifically throwing the discus. If you in Florida, the weather is just weird, and so
Yeah.
sometimes you get a wind that pushes it out,
Yep.
and all you got to do is get that discus high enough,
Yeah.
and that thing is what's that little song on High School Musical? It's soaring,
Oh,
it's
yes.
flying. That's and there's not a star in heaven that discus
Yeah.
can't reach.
Yep. Yep.
Same thing with the javelin, but I have seen javelins, I've seen discus, fly smooth,
Tank.
bam,
Yep. Yeah.
and you could have had the best throw. You could have had
Mhm.
it. Could have all the stars, so to speak, could have
Mhm.
aligned,
Yeah.
and it just didn't work out. So no, I think you have every right to say that, and you stand 10 toes tall on it because you are the American record holder.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm look, I'm not mad at it. But what I will say before we talk about your faith, I would love to see track and field doing a baking championships.
Baking.
A mixture, just a track and field day. So there's 3 shows that I want them to compete.
Okay.
I want them to do the holiday baking championships,
Oh, okay. Hmm.
uh, beat Bobby Flay,
Interesting. Okay.
and Chopped.
Ooh, chopped. That'd be good.
Baking championships. This is what I'm trying to think. It has to be Halloween or holiday baking championships
Yeah. Yeah.
because I said this on a previous show because we were talking about just the different baking championships. The creativity of the athlete. Can you imagine? Think about this real quick.
Yeah.
You got Santa Claus. Somebody makes Santa Claus on a cake. He got a javelin holding up the bag full of toys.
Yeah.
And
And
this
when
man,
you say Santa Claus, the only person I'm picturing is fourth grade Dominique.
listen, and I when this is
So fourth
Maggie,
grade Dominique in that Santa Claus outfit with the javelin, I'm for it.
yeah, so you got all this bootleg stage with all the little 50-pound
Uh,
reindeers
Yep,
trying to
yep.
carry this 500-pound sled. Um, Listen, I'm down for it. We put
Yeah,
Brother Santa Claus in full uniform,
yeah, in full
uh,
uniform.
with
Hmm.
the glasses. He got a nice
Yeah,
little fade. I know my fade is not, I haven't gone to the barbershop yet, so forgive me for not being properly groomed, but he would have had a better fade than I do. And he is just launching stuff like that.
yeah,
I could see a reindeer, Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, one of them, um, take form, and instead of naming it Dasher, we name it Sydney, and is
yes,
launching over
yep,
a hurdle.
yep.
I could see, um, there's so many creative things. I can
Yeah.
see you. You could be like the little drummer boy,
Okay.
but you not the little drummer boy. I'm trying to think of different
I
Christmas
was
characters.
I
So
was really hoping that you would keep going with this because I didn't know where it was gonna go. Hmm.
no, I had to stop in that because I'm trying to think. You know who you could be? You could be anybody you want to be because I'm trying to
Oh, good. Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I was trying to think of different characters in
There
like
it
different
is.
Christmas
You know, you
movies.
could be anybody you want to be.
Yes. I don't know. I was thinking about Elf. Like
Mm,
what character in Elf? Ah, that's tough.
it's
I
okay.
don't know. I don't know.
It's
But
okay.
that's another time and place. But anyway,
Yeah, yeah.
um, yeah, I would love to see that.
That'd be
That's
great.
that's just me. Like Christmas cookies galore.
Mm.
You could do so much with that,
Oh
but you
yeah.
wouldn't be the little drummer boy. No, we
No,
would
no.
you'd be Mrs. Claus with the
I
javelin.
could be down with the Mrs. Claus. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Mrs. Claus
Yep.
with the javelin.
Yep.
Let's switch gears, talk about the goodness of the Lord and the land of the living. I asked you
Yes.
earlier to reflect about your journey, but this sport sucks.
Mm-hmm.
I hate, this track and field podcast, listen, tell the truth, shame the devil. Um, but the thing about you, and I can't believe I'm gonna put a Jabberwocky song into this, but it flows like there's a song, I get knocked down, bucket up again, you ain't never gonna break me down. And then I can't sing the rest of the song.
No.
But that seems to be you. And from what I've seen, you always have a smile. Like
Oh.
I know you posted like, maybe it was a little difficult in worlds and all that stuff, but like it seems like nobody's able to take your joy. And
Yeah.
so just kind of talk about that, especially dealing with it when it's difficult.
Yeah. I I mean, I would absolutely be lying to say that nobody has stolen my joy or that you can't steal my joy because definitely have had really low moments of it. And I was having this conversation with my friend yesterday, who's not an athlete, but she is a sports reporter, and we were talking, and I just said, it. I have had more failures than success most of my life. Um, I have not reached a lot of the goals that I've set for myself. I don't know what the future holds for me, but I've had the worst performance that I've really ever had in a world championship. And in the past, that would have absolutely broken me and that would have destroyed what I thought about myself. It would have destroyed what I thought other people thought of me because I put way too much weight into that. And just as I have gotten deeper into my faith and I have spent more time with Jesus, I just am not afraid of failure as much. And I'm not, I don't know the word for it. I'm not afraid of failure as much, and I'm not allowing the world to determine where I find my joy. And I think for a really long time, I was allowing the world to dictate where I was happy and where I wasn't, whether that was Instagram followers or comments or what I thought other people thought of me or getting the approval of people, which is, something that I struggle with is getting approval from people. And as I've studied the Bible and just, prayed more and really spent more time with God, I don't have that chain anymore, like it's just, I don't have that chain that is going to tell me, Maggie, you should crumble right now, or you aren't good enough, or whatever it is. It's just not there. And I'm so thankful for that. I've never felt so free, honestly. If I never accomplish what I want to, which is to earn a medal in the Olympics and to throw 70 meters, that's my goal. If neither of those things ever happen, I know that I will be 100% okay. And I know that God has something better in mind for me. And I'm okay with that.
Used to sing this song at church called "This Joy That I Had, the World Didn't Give It, and the World Can't Take It Away."
No.
How have you been able to lean on your faith in the down seasons as well as the up seasons? Because it's
Yeah, absolutely. And it is In the up seasons, it's really easy, right? Like it's really easy to praise God, all these great things are happening. And like last year was the best season I've ever had, and it was unexpected. And I never thought that I would set the American record twice. And so, yeah, it's easy to go and say, praise God, he's done this, he's done this, he's done this. But when you fail, I'll use that word fail, it's really hard sometimes to give the glory to God in that. And I struggled after Worlds because I really believed that I thought I'd get a medal for sure. I was like, I could win this thing, absolutely. And to not make the finals and to throw so poorly, I struggled for a little bit in trusting God, I would say. Because I felt like he let me down. I really did. I was like, "Man, God, like why did you bring me here just to let me down?" And I started reading Psalm 23 more, and I started just honestly praying that the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, just over and over and over and over me, because I know that he will lead me to green pastures. I know that he is with me in the darkest valley. And I needed to remind myself of that because it was really easy for Satan to come in and try to steal my joy, try to separate me, which is his ultimate goal, is to separate us from God. And I could feel that coming and being like, see, you can't trust him. You thought you could. Hey, you were reading your Bible, you were spending time with him, you were praying, you were doing all these things, check, 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 and he let you down. And that was a narrative that was happening in my brain. And a pastor that I love, Jonathan Pokluda, he has been so instrumental in my faith. He has talked a lot about when those come in, it's like, how do you defend yourself from that? And it's like you put on the armor of God. And how do you put on the armor of God? You get into the word immediately. And Ephesians, and I can always get it, is it 4 that talks about the armor of God? Ephesians talks about the word being the sword to defend. And that is something, such a beautiful imagery, because every time that I go into battle now, I have to equip myself with the word so that I can defend from Satan, which is the ultimate enemy. It's not my competitors, it's not even myself. It is truly Satan trying to separate me from Jesus. And I know that good or bad in this sport, God's going to be there regardless. And it's up to me to continue to equip my brain and my soul with the word to protect myself.
Came to steal, kill, and destroy.
Yep,
And he,
absolutely.
I know it, Bible talks about he roams around seeking who he
Yep,
can
yep,
devour. So,
yep.
bro, I definitely feel that. Last question, and then I have a bonus question, and then we will
Okay,
get to rapid fire.
okay.
How does your faith and how has it given you perspective? You just mentioned it,
Mm,
but how
yeah.
has it given you perspective?
Ooh, man, there's so many directions that I could take that, but I would say my faith has given me a lens to not be afraid, um, and to know, like, to be content with the highs and the lows, knowing that both are going to happen, and that it's not always going to be highs and it's not always going to be lows either, even when it feels like it sometimes. So I would definitely say those two. And then also to walk with humility and to like love hard, especially the enemies, especially people who get under your skin, especially people who you compare yourself to or whatever it is. That love and humility, I think, go hand in hand. I think they're really interlocked. And so I, you know, the one thing that my prayer is to stay humble and to not let my ego or pride control me, because it has in the past. And so it's something that I fight daily, is to just stay in humility and to love hard, even when I don't understand, even when I am frustrated, to really come from a place of love. And I truly believe that that can only happen when you live through Jesus in the Word, equipping yourself with His Spirit.
Pastor Hardin done spoke a sermon.
Malone-Hardin.
Malone-Hardin. I'm sorry, pastor,
Yes.
pastor. Always, anytime we drop a good point, I always tell my mom, "Don't push me. It's almost Sunday." Um,
Yes.
but
Yes.
my bonus question before our rapid fire,
Yeah.
I want you to tell me about your wedding and that
My
amazing
elopement?
day.
My
Your
elopement? Oh,
elopement. I'm
yay.
sorry.
Okay, yes,
Yes.
because we're gonna do a wedding September 23rd, 2023. It'll be a big celebration for family. But okay, I'll try to do this in a short-ish amount of time. So Sam and I knew that we wanted to elope, mainly to, and in full transparency, we were living together, and we both felt convicted about that, and did want to stay within what we believe God asks of us. And so we were like, you know what? It's not about getting married on a date. It's not about a fancy dress. It's not about anything. It's about Jesus. It's about what He has called us to, which is to serve each other and to serve the Lord. And
Right.
we get to do that through unity, with each other. And so we knew that we were going to elope, but we didn't know when at first. We told most of our people that it would probably be September 23rd of this year, so that next year it would just be like, oh, our 1 year anniversary. And as we were kind of going through that, I was like, it's not about a date. It's not about this. It's about God. And so I talked to my pastor and I was like, when could we do an elopement if we wanted to do that? And July 4th was a date that came to mind. And that is the date that Sam asked me to officially be his girlfriend. We had one of the best, I mean, it was the day that really changed my life, because Sam and I at that point had made a commitment to start dating, and I knew it was different like when you are, and I'm not sure if you're married or not, but
No.
okay. So I knew from the get that this was going to be a different relationship, and I hope if you want to date anybody in the future or get married, I hope that that's the same thing for you, that you would know this is different. And so it was a meaningful day for us. And so I was like, that's really cool. Like, it happened to be that. And then my sister and my brother and my sister's boyfriend, they were going to come up for the July 4th, and we needed witnesses. And so I was like, oh, this is perfect. But we didn't want to tell them right away. So we had them come here. We told them we were going to go out to dinner one day. So just to have like something nice on hand. I had like gotten my dress and everything. And we then the night before went out to one of our favorite taco places, took them out to eat, and we said, hey, by the way, this is basically a rehearsal dinner because we are going to get married tomorrow. And they're like, what? And so we surprised them. They got to be a part of it. We did it at one of our favorite hiking places with the mountains behind us. We did the sunrise service, so it was like 5:36 in the morning. It was really early, but it was
Oof.
great. Like, I know it was early, but it was beautiful, beautiful weather, beautiful colors. One of the coolest parts about it too was, um, so we wanted to take communion, and I had chosen a wine bottle that I wanted to signify like Sam and me. And so I found one, and it was this redwood tree, and I think it's called Redwood. It's an organic wine that I was like, oh, this is really cool. So we could take communion with it. And when we were doing our wedding, elopement, whatever you want to call it, our pastor, he went into, I had asked him to talk about the fruits of the Spirit and how that important that is for each of us to have, but then to have like in a marriage. And so he was going into his little sermon, if you want to call it that, during the service. And he started out, he said, when I was thinking about this, I wanted to create an imagery of it. And something that I found out along this process was I kept seeing this image of a redwood tree. And I was like, what? Like, why did you think about that? And he was like, the redwood is very unique because it creates this huge tree. It's one of the biggest trees on the planet. And what's so cool about it is that the roots go super, super deep together. And as they, go into the ground, they interweave and they have to interweave and
Oh
interlock
wow.
really tightly in order
What
to produce this giant tree and to produce this fruit.
what an image of marriage. Wow.
I know, exactly. And so it was just really cool. I felt like God was in those moments of like, and so that's something that means a lot to us now is like this image of a redwood tree, to be this tree, to be this fruit from Jesus, to, because we are interlocked, to produce fruit in our lives. And it was such a great day. And then afterwards, we went and got a huge breakfast with our family. And yeah, it was a perfect day.
I don't even like trees, but that is
I know.
just because they
I
give,
know.
I'm sneezing all over the place, but
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I just wanted you to give a chance to tell the
Yeah.
world about that
Yeah.
amazing day,
It
and
was so perfect. And it
that's
was perfect because it wasn't about anything other than glorifying God. And that's what it was about. Yep.
well. Let me say this: Reese's, Chick-Fil-A, all y'all.
Yeah.
If y'all want to sponsor the after party that's going on next year,
Whoop, whoop.
be sure. Listen, Chick-Fil-A, y'all. You know what you should do? If Chick-Fil-A really loves you, which we
They
know they
should.
do, you need to have that after party on a Sunday and
They
watch
got a
them.
food truck. Can we get a Chick-fil-A food truck to roll up? That'd be nice.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
man.
That'd be
Do the
great.
one in Nashville. Get some lemon pepper wings up there with the
There we
nuggets
go.
and
Lemon
everything
pepper.
like that. So
Yes.
you have survived the
Yes.
basic Q&A, aka the interrogation process. So now we are moving on
Yep.
to our very last segment called Down the Home Stretch. I'm going to ask you some rapid fire questions and I want you to answer them to the best of your ability. There might
Okay.
be brief well, if I ask you a question for you to
Hmm.
explain the answer, then that does not count against the time. If you do not answer in the fastest way possible, it is okay, even
Okay.
though you are competing to be on the medal stand with our gold medal winners being Mrs. Carrie Tollefson and Mara Lee Stolliper. Are
Okay.
you ready? And you're competing to be the fastest javelin thrower.
Yes.
Right now, Kara and Ariana are our bronze medalists. So,
Okay.
and Liz Galito have to put her in there too. So, no pressure. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
If there was a food that you had to live with and live without, what would they be?
Pizza live and live without chicken.
I am offended by that. Why is this attack on chicken? Because I call it Reese's instead of recess?
It is. Hmm.
The Lord ain't pleased with that. That's
I like
demonic.
steak. I'm from Nebraska.
Whatever. All right. Best. Okay. Oh, this is going to get me in trouble. Is the barbecue in Texas overrated, properly rated, or underrated?
Underrated.
Okay. I've,
Hmm.
I've been to Texas and let's just say I've had it better.
No.
Uh,
No way.
okay. So speaking on that, what is your go-to barbecue plate? You have to choose two meats and two sides.
Pulled pork, brisket, mac and cheese, and potatoes. No, cornbread.
Okay, I can do
Mhm.
hot skillet cornbread or your normal cornbread.
Cornbread with honey.
Uh, honey-based cornbread. That's my girl
Yep.
right there. I told y'all we
Yep.
family. All right. If they were going to make a movie about your life, what would the movie be called, and who would the character be? What character, what actress would you like to portray your character?
Jennifer Lawrence,
I can see that.
and it would be called um, My Big Fat Confusing Life.
Okay, the spinoff of My Big Fat Greek Wedding. I like
There
that.
we go.
Okay, I got you. All righty. If Nebraska and Texas A&M played in a football game, who would you root for?
I plead the fifth. Keep
Okay.
going.
Best part about living in Nebraska.
Best part, you said?
Yeah.
Best part, people.
Okay. Worst part about living in Nebraska.
Winters.
Okay.
Mhm.
That's fair because it's a little cold there. Dream
Yep.
vacation spot.
Um, Grease.
If you had to be a guest star on any television series, what would it be?
Ozark.
Really?
Love it.
Okay. If you had to be a guest star on any Food Network series, what would it be?
I don't watch the Food Network, so I couldn't give you an answer.
Okay.
Yeah,
Disney Plus, Hulu, or Netflix?
Disney Plus.
Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Okay. Why Disney Plus?
Boy Meets World, so great. Can watch
Oh,
all of my old TV shows that I love, plus animation. Like I said, I'm a crier, I'm a sensitive person, and I love animated shows and all the princesses. So great.
okay. What is the
Yeah.
best era of television?
Say it again. Era?
Best era of television.
Era. I think the 90s.
My
I
girl,
love
right
I
there.
love the sitcoms. I think they're so great.
Best cartoon show, best 90s cartoon show, and best 90s sitcom.
Cartoon show, I would say maybe Rocket Power or
Oh, okay.
Rugrats. Yeah,
Rugrats.
yeah, Rugrats or Rocket Power, and then sitcom.
Yeah,
That's so hard for me.
that's tough.
I could go Family Matters, Boy Meets World, Fresh Prince. Yeah,
That's a tough one because for
yeah.
me, it's I have to say like Sister Sister or Living Single.
Sisters,
Um,
solid. Yes.
um, can't go wrong with that. A couple more questions. If there was a dream concert that you wish that you could attend, what concert would it be?
Dream concert would probably be Adele.
What song do you want to hear her play the most?
Others, Hello.
Hello, kiss me.
Hello from the other side. Yes.
Oh man, I could definitely see that. Okay, I'm good with that.
Yep.
All right. Superhero to describe who you are on the track.
Like a current superhero who it would
Hmm. Any superhero from
um
any time.
on the track.
Hmm.
Oh gosh. Hmm. Maybe I don't know. Scarlet Witch? I don't know.
Okay, that's fine. I
Sure.
wouldn't expect a Scarlet, but listen, that's
Yeah.
okay. That's
Yeah.
all right. Last question. Why does kindness matter to you?
Because it is how we relate to each other, and it is how we build relationships and understand each other better.
Maggie Malone-Hardin, you have survived the rapid fire and you have just earned the first medal of your career. We have our gold medalist. That was quite
Woo!
impressive. Yes, yes. We just all we do is catch W's on this show, all thriller, no filler. You know how it is.
Winner
Where can
chicken dinner.
winner, fried chicken, two-piece, and a biscuit with a side of cornbread at dinner? Okay. I told you on the start of the show. I told y'all her stock is hotter than fish grease at your grandparents' family reunion with them playing Al Green's Let's Stay Together. So
About to make that my new Instagram bio.
hotter than fish. Oh, please do. Listen. Don't nobody listen. Don't pain. Have you ever been popped by some fish grease?
Fish grease? Yes. We used to do
Mm.
a fish fry at my church. Holy crap.
Was it for the building fund?
It was just for Lent. I grew up Catholic. That's a whole other story. That's a whole other podcast we could get into.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I didn't know Catholics did. Okay, that's okay. So, where can the people find you and support your journey?
They can find me and support me at Maggie the Aggie, which gives you a little tidbit maybe to that football question. On Instagram. That's where you can find me most of the time.
Yes, I have to go and find these. I'm looking at all my Santa Claus pictures, and listen,
Yep.
if you follow my personal one, you got all the Christmas pictures you need. Maggie has started a chant to get me or little
Hashtag
thing.
free Santa.
Hashtag free Santa. That ain't gonna happen. I might make it a profile picture, but that will not happen. But
Yes.
what I will say is be sure to follow her there. If you are a sponsor and you listen to the show, just know that I'm going to tag you in it. She is deserving of your sponsorship. She's a great ambassador. And on top of that, you will be sponsoring an American hero as she is an American record holder. I appreciate everybody who has listened in on this show. I hope you came away inspired, lifted, and we will catch you next time.
Bye, guys.